in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145 and in Germany 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have two ears and one mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
I opened a book, and in I strode. Now nobody can find me. I've left my chair, my house, my road, my town, and my world behind me. I'm wearing the cloak, I've slipped on the ring, I've swallowed the magic potion. I've fought with a dragon, dined with a king, and dived in a bottomless ocean. I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter, and followed their road with its bumps and bends to the happily ever after. I finished my book, and out I came. The cloak can no longer hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have a book inside me.
Though you may be a king of the world, sitting on your throne made of gold, servants standing all around, feeding you apples and your favorite stew, singers and dancers entertaining you, millions of dollars in your chest. If you don't find time to read and browse, you're as poor as a little church mouse. Reading maketh a good man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book, and give it more than just a passing look. 5 letters alone and shall not slip. Your from words of books you'll have much to give. Reading maketh a good man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book, and give it more than just a passing look. 5 read alone and shall not slip. But from words of books you'll have much to give. Books inform, old and new, sound serious, sound amusing too. You'll understand, appreciate with the words we think, communicate. To vast distractions of today we'll see. Reading every day is a missing link. So raise your knowledge and that you, it gives you confidence in you. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book, and give it more than just a passing look. Divert alone, man shall not slip, but from words of books he'll have much to give. Let me hear it now. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a a passing look. I heard alone, man shall not live, but from words of good you'll have much to give. Read.
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 13th day of the 9th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, it's the 13th day of the 4th month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, and the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, has been reporting, in fact, has been issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Nicholas, located over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. And then a tropical wave located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic is producing an area of disorganized cloudiness and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development of this disturbance over the next several days, and a tropical depression is likely to form by late this week while the system moves westward at about 15 miles per hour across the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, there's an area of low pressure forecast to form by midweek, a couple of 100 miles north of the southeastern or central sections of the Bahamas, as a tropical wave interacts with an upper level trough. Some gradual development of this system is possible. Thereafter, a tropical depression could form later this week while the system moves northwestward or northward across the Atlantic. Let's bring you closer to home now by hearing from the National Meteorological Service with respect to the weather situation. There's a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across the island over the next few days. The forecast for this afternoon: scattered showers and thunderstorms across sections of most parishes, isolated thunderstorms across western parishes tonight. Other observances that we have to share with you: the month of September is still being observed as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, National Senior Citizens Month, Employers Month, Alopecia Awareness Month. That's the partial or complete loss of one's hair, alopecia, ALOPECIA. It's also Travel Agents Month and Cheese Month. In the United States, September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month, Healthy Aging Month, National Atrial Fibrillation Awareness Month, National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, National Cholesterol Education Month, National Food Safety Education Month, National Idiopathic Thrombocytopenic Purpura, ITP, Awareness Month. Idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura is an immune disorder in which the blood doesn't clot normally. This condition is now more commonly referred to as immune thrombocytopenia, ITP. Also in the United States, September is National Pediculosis Prevention Month. That's head lice prevention. National Recovery Month, National Sickle Cell Month, National Yoga Awareness Month, Newborn Screening Awareness Month, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, Pain Awareness Month, Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, PCOS Month, Sepsis Month. Sepsis is a serious condition resulting from that's spelled SEPSIS, a serious condition resulting from the presence of harmful microorganisms in the blood or other tissues and the body's response to their presence, potentially leading to the malfunctioning of various organs, shock, and death. It's also Sexual Health Awareness Month, Sports Eye Safety Month, and World Alzheimer's Month. Still in the USA, today in the USA is National Celiac Disease Awareness Month. It's also World Sepsis Day. We just told you about sepsis, SEPSIS. Argentinians are celebrating Librarians Day. It's International Chocolate Day. Hoy es lunes el 13 de septiembre 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
You'll understand, appreciate with the words we think, communicate. To vast distractions of today we'll see. Reading every day is the missing link. So raise your knowledge and I feel it gives you confidence in you. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more than just a passing look. Thy bread alone man shall not slip, but from words that puts you have much to give. Let me hear it now. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more than just a passing look. Thy bread alone man shall not slip, but from words that puts you have much to give.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Living in the positive.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
It's young, it's fresh, it's worldviews from a youth perspective. It's Gen Z, navigating the ups and downs of everyday life. Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Power 106 FM.
So raise your knowledge and IQ, it gives you confidence in you. Reading make us a full man, so read and read all you can.
C'est lundi le 13 septembre 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'honneur du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
So you may be a king of the world, sitting on your throne, metaphors, servants standing all around, feeding you apples, your favorite stew, singers and dancers entertaining you, millions of dollars in your chest. If you don't find the time to read and browse, you're as poor as a little church mouse. Reading maketh a good man, so read and read all you can. Join the library or buy a book and give it more than
All we're saying is it's Monday, the 13th of September, 2021, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
words we think, communicate to balance distractions of today we'll see. Reading every day is a missing link, so raise your knowledge and IQ, it gives you confidence in you. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more.
Good afternoon to those listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point, this is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, downloaded from the Google Play Store or the App Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank those who have logged on to the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to both sides of the story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. We thank you if you have dialed one of two designated numbers to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We thank you for logging on to the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page as we stream live video of this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook in the search box atop the page. type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to watch both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, there's always YouTube. All you need is a device like a smartphone or a not so smartphone, a tablet computer, a laptop, a PC, as in a personal computer, otherwise known as a desktop, any one of those. That's a good place to start. And then check for internet connection. Do you have that internet connection? Great. Next step, open a browser like Google Chrome or Bing, Safari, any one of those. And in the search box, type YouTube. The YouTube website will come up. If you're doing this right now, then you should be seeing this video trending. If you're not seeing it, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you will also be able to watch both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. We started out this afternoon with a piece entitled I Opened a Book by Julia Donaldson. I Opened a Book by Julia Donaldson. And we paired that with the reading song by students of Mona Primary School. Another reminder, especially for the children listening and for parents and guardians, to encourage our children to read and read some more and keep reading. And it's quite instructive that we should be doing that this afternoon, because this afternoon is a significant, or today is a significant day on the calendar for the Gleaner. Today is a significant day on the Gleaner's calendar because the Gleaner is celebrating 186 years of publication. 186 years. The first issue of the Gleaner, a page, octavo size weekly, was published on this day in 1834. 1834. Its proprietors were two half-brothers, Jacob and Joshua R. de Cordova. The offices and printery were situated at the northwest corner of Orange Street and Water Lane in downtown Kingston. The Gleaner was the successor to de Cordova's advertising sheet. The Gleaner was founded by the de Cordova, some people say de Cordova brothers, whose family continued to maintain an interest in the publication of the Gleaner for several generations. Jacob de Cordova, that's D-E, common D-E, capital C-O-R-D-O-V-A, de Cordova. Some people say de Cordova, like Renito, Valentino, de Cord, you get it, right. But anyway, Jacob de Cordova, the younger brother, has, however, greater claim to fame outside of Jamaica and is closely identified with the history of Texas in the United States. Jacob de Cordova was born in Spanish Town in 1808, the youngest of three sons of Judith and Raphael de Cordova, a Jewish family that had settled in Jamaica for many generations. Since his mother died at his birth, he was reared by an aunt in England. He was well educated and became proficient in English, French, Spanish, German, and Hebrew. His father, a Jewish Jamaican coffee grower and exporter, moved to Philadelphia, where he became president of Congregation Mikveh Israel in 1820. Jacob joined his father in Philadelphia, and there he married Rebecca Sterling about 1826 and learned the printing trade. His ancestors had supported themselves as printers for generations, beginning in the 16th century, when de Córdoba in Spain published Álvaro Núñez Cabeza de Vaca's explorations in Texas. Jacob de Córdoba became a major real estate dealer, publisher, and promoter in Texas and represented Harris County in the state legislature. Jacob de Córdoba also laid out the town of Waco, Texas, drew the first map of the state of Texas, and introduced the Lodge, the Independent Order of Oddfellows, to the state. While on a visit to Jamaica in 1834, he joined his brother Joshua in founding the Gleaner. There is a public memorial to Jacob de Córdoba in the State Cemetery at Austin, Texas. In early 1836, Jacob went to New Orleans, where he shipped cargoes of staples to Texas during its struggle for independence. At this time, he served a term as Grand Master of the Oddfellows. After the Battle of San Jacinto, he visited the Republic of Texas to install members of the Oddfellows lodges, the first established outside the United States. He settled in Texas in 1839 and lived in Galveston and later Houston, where he was elected a state representative to the Second Texas Legislature in 1847. He served for one term but lost the election in 1849. De Córdoba traveled extensively through Texas, including the frontier western areas. Through scrip and direct purchase, he acquired large amounts of land to sell to settlers. At one time, he had 1 million acres in scrip or title. To attract settlers to Texas, he made speeches on Texas in New York, Philadelphia, and other cities, and even to the Cotton Spinners Association in Manchester, England. His lectures were published on both sides of the Atlantic and were widely read. His land legacy, which he owned with his half-brother Phineas de Córdoba, became one of the largest such agencies that ever operated in the Southwest. De Córdoba and 2 other men laid out the town of Waco in 1848-49. Town lots of 1 acre sold for $5, and nearby farmland brought $2 to $3 an acre. At the urging of his wife, de Córdoba reserved free sites for schools, churches, and commons. De Córdoba and Robert Cruzbar compiled the map of the state of Texas, first published in 1849. Much subsequent Texas cartography was based on this map, which was praised by Sam Houston on the floor of the United States Senate. Perhaps a little later on, we'll share some more and continue to encourage all of us to read and read and read some more and keep reading.
Looking for all the new sound serious sound music too.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Private sector employers.
Work with the PSVI to register and help vaccinate your staff with the PSVI vaccination program.
It's safe, efficient, and convenient. Protect your staff and customers.
Let's get the productive sector vaccinated and back to normality as quickly as we can.
Email info@psvija.com or call 876-339-0988 for registration details. That's 876-339-0988.
Vaccines work. Work with the vaccine.
The PSVI vaccination program is approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Dr. Jackie is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. September is Prostate Cancer Month, and this Wednesday, September 15, we'll discuss the basics on prostate cancer and the impact it has on the immune system. Also, tune in for the exciting Healthy Conversation with Dr. Jackie Campbell as she speaks about ways on how to deal with worry. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine. P.I. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century. National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited. Let's Save Water. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2 Old Harbor, and Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, September 15 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Living in the positive.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything to do with the sale or purchase of land, surveying land, willing land, anything at all to do with land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line for Land Solutions is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-881-5254. 876-881-5254. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In light of the prevailing COVID-19 infection prevention and control measures, clients and potential clients of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company are asked to call ahead before turning up. Call and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. In a moment, your host on this afternoon's edition of Land Solutions, attorney at law, Calicia Findley.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Land Solutions. I hope everyone is keeping safe wherever in the world you are listening. As Dervan just said, I'm your host for today, Calicia Findley, and I will begin with a message from our Facebook page, facebook.com/Land Solutions. In the U.S., the government had a moratorium on landlords evicting tenants who lost work because of COVID. Are there any such measures in Jamaica? Not to my knowledge. There are no such measures. And a moratorium basically is a delay or a stay. So because some people would have lost their jobs in the States and were unable to pay their rent, the government in the States had a special program in place where landlords were prevented from evicting tenants. If I'm not mistaken, that program recently ended, so landlords can now go ahead and take action to evict tenants. That is not in place in Jamaica. I know it's hard times for everyone if you're a tenant or even if you're a landlord and you are having challenges collecting rent as a tenant, if you're having challenges paying your rent, have a discussion with the landlord. And this is something I say quite often. Don't just not say anything. Sometimes saying all the time, I would think saying nothing makes the situation worse. If you can at least reach out and say, allow me, give me an extension so I can pay this amount or I can pay in installments, but just to not say anything presents more challenges. I know the mortgage companies, because quite a few mortgage holders have been affected also. With mortgage companies, if you have a change in circumstances, they're pretty flexible sometimes, and within reason, you can go in and speak to them and negotiate some sort of payment plan. But you have to be careful. You can't just now rely on COVID to say, all right, COVID is happening, not making this money anymore, so please put this in place for me. So if, for instance, you're already behind in your mortgage, I would not expect that your mortgage company is going to grant you any kind of reprieve. But again, there are options, particularly with the mortgage companies. Go out there, go to them, have a dialogue, have a discussion with them, and see if anything can be put in place to help make matters a little easier during this time. Again, our numbers to call in live on air, 876-922-4112 or text and WhatsApp line, 876-881-5254. Over to our WhatsApp line. This is a two-part question. I am an executor and beneficiary on a will, but I have been unable to probate because I don't have the money. The other beneficiaries are pressuring me. How do I get them to stop pressuring me? Have you had a discussion with them? Unless you've had a discussion with them, they probably won't start pressuring you. And see if you can get them to help you with the legal fees. Because as the executor, it is your responsibility, it is your obligation to see to it that the will is probated. So you don't just want to be in a position where, yes, it's one thing that you are unable to do it right now, but let the others know what's happening to see if they can help you. Have you met with an attorney already? Because some attorneys, like myself, are flexible. You can start with a deposit, you can pay over time, or we can collect the fees at the end of the matter if property is being sold. So have you explored those options? If not, you should. On to the other question you sent, I heard recently that the executor of someone's estate died before getting probate. Can the will still be probated without an executor? Yes, the process can still go through. When the executor is absent, whether by death or illness, or let's say they've given up the post, it's now called letters of administration with will and X. It's the same process as you would do with probate, just done by a different name. So yes, it can still be done. I know I've seen it in the past already where beneficiaries thought that because the executor had died, that nothing could be done. They just, left the estate there to rot, literally speaking. I think, if I recall correctly, they came to me like 10 years after the executor had passed. But it can be done. So first thing, consult with an attorney. It can happen, like I said, letters of administration with will and X, and you'd have to get the death certificate of the executor to attach to the application. So in a case like this, one of the beneficiaries would now step into the shoes of the executor, and they're the one who would apply for letters of administration. So in that case, the testator, remember the testator is the person who has made the will, the testator's wishes can still be carried through. I find sometimes that when executors don't act or when beneficiaries don't act, it's not because they are dishonest or they are negligent. Sometimes it's simply that they just don't know. So in the case I mentioned previously, where nothing was done because the executor had died, the beneficiaries thought, oh, well, that's it, that's the end of the process. So ask, come into an attorney for a consultation. Don't just assume that nothing can be done. I've also seen already where the testator, again, the testator is the person who has made the will, they couldn't get a death certificate, the estate, the beneficiaries. So they just sat and did nothing for years. They never consulted with an attorney. And often, the longer you wait, it's the more problems, the more issues you run into. One, nothing is getting cheaper. Legal fees go up all the time. You have estate duties. Estate duty is 1.5% of the estate at the time of death. There's 6% interest added to estate duties if you don't get the process started within a year. So the longer you wait, not only do the expenses pile upon you, but you run the risk of worsening or of having deteriorating relations with the beneficiaries, with other family members, because family members will think, listen, this person is not doing anything, they just don't care. Sometimes a beneficiary will come into us and say, listen, I haven't heard anything from the executor. Once we make contact with the executor, more often than not, it turns out to be a simple reason why they haven't communicated or why they haven't started the process. So if you are in a position like this, if you're not sure what to do, if you don't have the money to get started, if you don't have the documents, at least start with a consultation, an initial meeting with an attorney. You'll be surprised of what you can find out in that first meeting. So all is not lost. More often than not, there is always hope. Again, our numbers to call in live on air, 876-922-4112 to court, or text and WhatsApp line, 876-881-5254 to call us in office at the law office of Brown, Finley and Company on Wednesday because we know the lockdown. The numbers are 876-908-1950 and 876-908-3518. As always, you can email us, and that's gloria@landsolutionsja.com. And you can always send us a message on Facebook. That's facebook.com/landsolutions. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Our family and friends are a big part of who we are. And when it comes to keeping you connected to them, Grace Kennedy Money Services Western Union makes it safer and easier. Now friends and family overseas can use the Western Union app or westernunion.com to send money directly to your bank account without leaving home. Receive a Western Union money transfer directly into your bank account with a direct-to-bank service. Register online at gkmsonline.com and share your banking details with your sender so you don't have to leave home to collect.
Are you an accomplished professional with senior managerial experience? Optimize your profitability with a high-impact doctoral degree from the University of Sunderland, offered through the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. Practitioners without a master's degree but with significant senior managerial experience can also be considered for direct admission into the professional doctoral degree program. Apply online today at ucc.edu.jm or call us at 876-906-3000. UCC, fostering leadership and innovation.
Living in the positive.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
It's young, it's fresh, it's worldviews from a youth perspective. It's Gen Z, navigating the ups and downs of everyday life. Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-881-5254, 876-881-5254. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. Plus, they have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In light of the infection prevention and control measures, i.e. COVID-19, you're encouraged to call ahead before turning up at the offices of Brown, Findley and Company. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law, Calicia Findley.
Thank you, Dervan. A WhatsApp message. The Rent Restriction Act was to be amended. Do you know if it was? And how will it change the landlord-tenant relationship? I don't think it has been amended yet. It has been in the works for years. I'm almost certain it hasn't yet been amended. It is supposed to make landlord-tenant relations easier. Currently, it is heavily skewed in favor of the tenants. I understand that the amendments to the Act should make it more balanced, so there will be provisions favoring the landlord. There should be provisions dealing with the late payment of rent, the non-payment of utilities, what should happen if either party doesn't give the adequate notice, what should happen in terms of damage to property, security deposits, just provisions to mirror everyday reality. That clearly those provisions are not reflected in the current Act. But no, to date, the Act has not been amended. I'll keep looking out for it, and of course, if and when it comes, because I know there has been talk for many years, I'll be certain to discuss it.
We'll listen out for that, Calicia. We have a caller for you.
No problem. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, how may I help?
Hello?
Hello, yes, are you hearing? You're live on air.
You hear me?
Yeah, man, go right ahead.
I'm just calling to check out something about my land. My grandfather died leave the land from 2004, but me is the only one as the grandson paying the land tax, and I've been paying it for maybe around 17 years. Me on the phone. I paid for around 17 years.
Yes.
So I need like some guideline towards it because you have a lot of daughters, but most of them are in England. So I don't know if he did make a will up here because of England he died.
Okay. All right. Apart from paying the taxes, have you done anything else on the land?
Me start build on the land already.
Okay. When did you start building?
I start from 2013.
Okay. Anything else?
No, and I think me pay for surveyor. I'm supposed to get a subdivision on the 20th next month.
Okay. And since you have been building on it, has anybody tried to take you off?
No.
All right. What the law says, you see, is that you have to show that you have been on it for at least 12 years.
I'm not
Paying
hearing
the
that clearly.
taxes isn't enough. Say that again?
I'm not hearing you that clearly.
All right, hang up and just keep listening, all right? Because I think you might be getting some feedback. So this gentleman says he has started building on the land. He started in 2013, and he has been paying the taxes for the past 17 years. And there is no dispute. He says no one has tried to take him off the property. Even though he has been paying the property taxes for the past 17 years, that is not enough to allow him to make a claim on the property. He has started building in 2013. I think that's about 8 years. He would have to show that he has been, or his building has been on the property for 12 years. So he has a couple more years to go. But if he continues on the property and he can show he has been there for 12 years with no dispute, no one trying to remove him, then he can go ahead and apply for a title to the property. And so he said also that he's not certain if his grandfather made a will. If it turns out that his grandfather made a will and willed the property to someone else, but he can still show that he has been there for 12 years undisturbed, then notwithstanding what the will says, he can still be able to go ahead and make an application for the title. It is never wise to build on property, to invest in property that it's not yours, for which you don't have title for, because you don't want to start building, you spend $5-10 million, you own it for 11 years, and then just before the 12 years, someone else comes to claim it. That is a possibility. So just be very careful whenever you are deciding to start investing in property. I live beside an empty lot. The owners are overseas, and every year they send money to me to clear the land. They pay their property taxes online overseas. In the past month, someone has started, this is a two-part, coming in two text messages. In the past month, someone has started to leave his animals on the property, and he says he can claim it because nobody has lived there for 15 years. Is this true? No, not in this case. And let me just explain why not. Because I know I would have just said if you are on property for 12 years, you can claim it. And in this case now, no one has been on this property for 15 years. This person can't claim it because, again, he would have to show that he has been on it, he has had his animals there doing whatever for at least 12 years. Not only that, too, even though these persons have been overseas for 12 years, the fact that they send money regularly for their neighbor to clear the property shows that they are still in control of the property. So they're still taking care of it, albeit through their neighbor. So the fact that the neighbor is clearing it regularly on their behalf shows that they haven't abandoned the property, shows that they haven't given it up. So not because you just see property there empty and it's been empty for a while means that you can go ahead and claim it. So be very careful. Again, don't want to start investing in any property that you're not certain about. It's a waste of time and especially a waste of money to be spending your resources and then end up losing it. If you buy property but it is still in the seller's name, how can you sell it to someone else? If you buy property and it's still in the seller's name, you can only sell it if it is transferred in your name. That is the legal way. Because if you try to sell something that is not in your name, that could spell trouble for you down the road. The purchaser could turn around and sue you for misrepresentation. And conversely, on the other side, if you are looking to buy property, don't buy anything from anyone who cannot prove their title to you. And this is why you need to get an attorney when you're dealing with any land transactions, particularly when it comes to unregistered property. When we say property is unregistered, it means it doesn't have a title issued by the National Land Agency. And those types of properties can come with many uncertainties. So first thing, make sure you get an attorney. I bought land with my wife, but my name is not on the tax paper. It has my wife's name and then it says et al. How do I put my name on the title? All right. The fact that your name doesn't appear on your property tax receipt or your notice of assessment from the tax office doesn't mean that your name isn't on the title. If you have a registered title, you look on it, I'm certain you will see your wife's name. So you'd see Mary Smith and John Smith. And again, and let me just say, it doesn't matter the order that the names come in. If Mary's name is first, it doesn't mean that she has the greater right or she has control of the property. Anybody telling you that, foolishness. Doesn't matter. 10 people on the title, it doesn't matter what order the names are on the title. Et al. Simply means and others. It's an abbreviation. So when you pay your tax receipt, when you pay your property taxes and you get your tax receipt, you'll see that it's a relatively small piece of paper. So they just put one name, usually the first name, and they use the abbreviation et al. To mean and others, simply because they don't have enough space to write out all the names on the title. So whether it's 2 names or 10 names, once it's usually more than one person's name on the title, they simply just put one person's name, Mary Smith, et al. Meaning and others. So it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It doesn't mean you're not the owner. Doesn't mean your name is not on the title. And if you still have doubts about it, just look on your title. If you don't have your title, let's say you have a mortgage, you can get a copy of your title from the titles office. So this is nothing to be worried about. Again, our numbers to call in, 876-922-4112-4, or text and WhatsApp line, 876-881-5254. The number for our Ocherius office, I'll be there this Thursday between 10 and 2. And that's Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building. That's 876-974-6083. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. Dr. Jackie is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. September is Prostate Cancer Month, and this Wednesday, September 15, we'll discuss the basics on prostate cancer and the impact it has on the immune system. Also, tune in for the exciting Healthy Conversation with Dr. Jackie Campbell as she speaks about ways on how to deal with worry. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine, P.I. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century, National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living, Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, Let's Save Water, Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town, Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor, and Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, September 15 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line for Land Solutions is the same as the WhatsApp number. That's 876-881-5254. 876-881-5254. If you wish to send an email, send it to gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. Sounds like Alicia Findlay will be on duty on Thursday, all things being well. And for those who wish to get in touch with the law firm, Brown, Findlay and Company, please call ahead. Call and you'll be advised. It's important to know what documents to take or what documents to prepare, etc., or get ready to be able to get those papers together, etc. So call ahead. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law, Calicia Findlay.
Thank you, Dervan. Continuing with our WhatsApp messages. If someone willed their property to someone, changed their mind and wanted to will it to someone else, but died before getting a chance to change their will, can the executor make the change for them? Okay, so someone has made a will. They wanted to change the gift in the will to someone else, got a chance to do it. They died, and this person now wants. That is not possible. It is unfortunate, but the last, and this is the reason why it's called your last will and testament. It is the last document containing your wishes. We know how life is, how unpredictable, how uncertain it is. So sometimes you state something in your will, you want to change, someone may be ill and they just don't have the opportunity or the ability to make the change, or someone may die suddenly. But unfortunately, it's not possible for the executor to change the gift. The executor has to abide by what is stated in the will. However, if, and this is a big if, the executor can go through the probate process, transfer it to the beneficiary or the beneficiaries as stated in the will. If the beneficiaries agree to transfer it or to sell it or to do whatever it is they think the testator may have wanted, that is a possibility, as long as the beneficiaries agree to it. But the executor cannot take it upon him or herself to say, yes, even though the will says the property should go to John, I know in her heart she wanted it to go to Mary, so I'm going to ignore that and give it to Mary. It cannot be. It cannot be done. The beneficiaries would have to agree anything outside outside of the will. And as you know, though, an executor can sell property. They don't need the beneficiary's permission. But in a case like this, they can decide to sell the property because they think that's what the executor, they think that's what the testator would have wanted. You can only sell the property, one, if the beneficiaries agree, or if there's not enough money in the estate to settle the legal fees and the government fees. Over to our text line. And just a reminder, to speak to me live on air, please call 876-922-41124 and not 876-881-5254. 881-5254 is the number solely for text messages and WhatsApp. So again, to call me on air, call 876-922-41124. If you want to speak to us off air in office, call us at 876-908-1950. Continuing with our messages. I recently surveyed the property my grandma left for me. I found out that the amount on the tax paper is less than the survey document. What should I do to correct this? You have to go with what's on the survey because the survey is an accurate representation of what is on the ground. And this happens quite frequently. Your tax paper may say 1 acre, but once the surveyor comes and does what needs to be done, you realize it's 3/4 of an acre. Many times what's on the tax roll is an estimate. So that could be one possibility for the difference, that it's an estimate. Or perhaps a piece could have already been taken up. Maybe someone else had applied for a title previously. So what you will do in a case like this, you still go ahead and make your application for the title based on what is in your survey diagram. And in the application, we would say that there is a difference between what's on the tax paper as opposed to what's on the survey, because what's on the tax paper is an estimate. Sometimes when this happens, I find that most people, they either believe that the surveyor is incompetent or the surveyor is trying to thief the property or someone has stolen the property. 99.9999% of the time, that's not the case. It is simply that what you thought you had is not what you had. So the survey is usually correct. So go with what the surveyor says.
Well, let's tell you what we have, Calicia, or we have another caller for you. But just remember what you're going to say so you can finish that thought.
No problem.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
There was a trainer man at Commerce spot named Mr. Finley. Are you related?
I don't think so.
Oh, he was a very nice friend of mine. But I've not heard from him nor seen him for years, you know.
Okay.
I'm an executor on a place out in Kingston here, but I've never. The place was given to a young lady who gave the property, but I don't know if the place is sold or anything goes wrong all right, because I've never followed it up. And so I just wanted to be sure, where does an executor lies in this position? What is he to do? Is he to plan on if the land is sold, and if it is sold, what happened to his interest, whatever?
Are you the executor?
Yes.
And you haven't seen the property in several years?
I'm not hearing you.
You say that you don't know what's going on with the property?
Yeah, I know that I know that the niece got the place. I attended the funeral, everything. I came to the house. I know the house well. I've been in there. Well,
how long ago did the person die?
Huh?
How long ago did the person die?
I'm not hearing you, man.
How long ago did the person die?
Oh, yeah, this is about 7 years.
I'm sorry, Dervan, what was that, 7 or 17?
Hello?
7 years.
7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I need some more volume from Irma.
All right, just hang up, because I'm having a difficulty hearing you. So hang up. I'll have the producer take it. Keep listening. If you're facing a situation like this where you are an executor and you're not certain what is happening with the property, first thing to do is consult an attorney. And what I would do is a title search to see if there are any changes on the title. And by changes, I mean to see if there have been any changes in ownership. He says the person died about 7 years ago. I am not certain what would have been the history of the property, so we would need to do some investigation into that. But the first thing you would need to do is come into an attorney with a death certificate, the will, and you would first start by doing a title search. And it would also be good for you to just to go by the property and see what's happening there. And just before the call, thank you, Dervan. What I was going to say is that if you are in a situation where you received a survey from a surveyor and you disagree with it, let's say you thought you had 5 acres and the surveyor says, no, it's a 1/4 acre. If you want, you can get a second opinion, you can get another surveyor. But again, just be careful. Have a discussion with the surveyor. Let them show you the boundaries. Let them show you why they have come to this conclusion. Because more often than not, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, more often than not, the surveyor is correct, but mistakes can happen. But first, have a discussion with the surveyor. Let me just see. I see the WhatsApp messages coming in. What can I do if I disagree with a valuation I just got on a property? Have a discussion with the valuer, because if you are a landowner, chances are you think, and we know how passionate we are about land. We know how we feel about land. Land is everything to us as Jamaicans. If you are a landowner, chances are you think your property is worth way more than its value, because we do have that emotional attachment to our land. So you might think your property is valued at $10 million, and the valuer says, no, this is not worth more than 7.5. And sometimes it's the opposite for buyers. Have a discussion with them. You can always get a second opinion, but I find, especially with valuations, they don't change very much. And I wouldn't want you to be in a situation where you just end up wasting your money. But if the first valuation came back at 7.5, and then you go into the second valuation and it comes back at $7 million, and actually there's usually a $500,000 margin of error with valuation. So just be careful. If you are buying property, as many of you would know, you need a valuation report when you are getting a mortgage. It is a requirement of the mortgage company. Depending on the mortgage company you are using, though, you have to be careful. One, I think apart from NHT, most mortgage companies have an approved list of valuers. So you can't just get up and say, I'm going to use XYZ company. You have to check first with your mortgage company. Also, some mortgage companies have a limited pool depending on the value of the property. I think if it's over $30 million, their pool is smaller. And there's some others too who select the valuers for you. So even though they have their list of valuers, you can't go and commission them on your own. You have to submit your documents to them, meaning your sale agreement and your proof of payment, and then they're the ones who select a valuer from random. So don't go out and do your own valuation, then you end up not being able to use it. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The following is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to attend a vaccination site on Monday, September 13 and Tuesday, September 14 to receive their second dose of the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines. Select sites will offer the Johnson & Johnson and first dose of AstraZeneca. Please visit vaccination.moh.gov.jm or social media for details on location, opening hours, and vaccine type. Monday, September 13, St. Anne, Lilyfield Playground, Bamboo, 12 to 4 p.m. St. Anne's Bay Health Center, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. St. Mary, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. St. Mary High School, Port Maria Anglican Church Hall, Port Maria, and Notta Bay Sports Complex and Notta Bay. Portland, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Fair Prospect High School and Port Antonio Health Center. Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Merle Grove High School, St. George's College, and Jamaica College. Trelawney, Falmouth Health Center, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Ulster Spring Health Center, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Manchester, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Manchester High School and Crosskeys High School. Hanover, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Hopewell Health Center, Sandy Bay Health Center, and Lucy Health Center. St. Catherine, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Portmore Heart Academy, Eltham High School, Dint Hill High School, Old Harbour High School, Jose Marti High School, and Guys Hill High School. Clarendon, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Summerfield Community Center, Denby Primary School, and Edwin Allen High School. St. Elizabeth, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Southfield Health Center, Eldersley Health Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Aberdeen Health Center, and Black River Health Center. St. James, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Type 5 Health Center, Sandals Inn, Catherine Hall Health Center, and Adelphi Health Center. St. Thomas, Morant Bay Health Center, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Isaac Morant Health Center, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Westmoreland, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Savannah Lamar Health Center. Tuesday, September 14th, St. Anne, Turtle River Park, Ocherias, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. St. Mary, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., St. Mary High School, Port Maria Anglican Church Hall, Port Maria, and Anotta Bay Sports Complex, Anotta Bay. Portland, Port Antonio, Manchester, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Manchester, Maloney, Bounty Hall Health Center, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Clarendon, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Denby Primary School, Bustamante High School, Frankfield Health Center, and Kellets High School. St. James, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Type 5 Health Center, Sanders Inn, Catherine Hall Health Center, Mount Carey Health Center, and Salter Hill Baptist Church. St. Catherine, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Portmore Heart Academy, Eltham High School, Dint Hill High School, Old Harbour High School, Jose Marti High School, Guys Hill High School, and St. Jago High School. Hanover, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Green Island Health Center, Ramble Health Center, Sandy Bay Health Center, and Lucy Health Center. Kingston and St. Andrew National Arena, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Mona Aging and Merle Grove High School, St. George's College, and St. Thomas, Yalis Health Center, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Westmoreland, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Manning School, Negril Health Center, Savannah Lamar Health Center, Grange Hill School, New Hope Primary School. St. Elizabeth, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bellevue Health Center, Magotty Health Center, Newmarket Health Center, and Junction Health Center, as well as the Springfield Health Center. Persons should take their vaccination card, school ID, child's birth certificate, a government-issued identification, or letter from a justice of the peace to the sites. Let's get vaccinated and get back to life.
Dr. Jackie is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. September is Prostate Cancer Month, and this Wednesday, September 15, we'll discuss the basics on prostate cancer and the impact it has on the immune system. Also, tune in for the exciting Healthy Conversation with Dr. Jackie Campbell as she speaks about ways on how to deal with worry. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbour, St. Catherine, P.I. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century, National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living, Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, Let's Save Water, Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town, Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbour, and Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, September 15 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
It's the final segment of Land Solutions for today on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Here's your opportunity to get in those calls right now, those questions, concerns, lingering issues in relation to land. Here are the numbers for you to call. 876-922-4112-4. That's 876-922-4112-4. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions. That's 876-881-5254. 881-5254. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. You're encouraged to call the offices of Brown, Findley and Company before turning up. Those numbers are 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Don't forget, there's an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In fact, a lawyer is usually on duty on a Thursday, and attorney at law Calicia Findley will be doing duties this Thursday. Yes, right, Calicia? Back to you.
Thanks, Dervan. Yes, I'll be there this Thursday. I think everyone is waiting until the last couple minutes. I don't know where to begin. But let me just touch on something I said just before the break. I was talking about valuation. This is a follow-up. Do you pay the lawyer or the mortgage company or the valuer when you're getting a valuation? It doesn't matter. It can be done either way. If your mortgage company is the one commissioning it on your behalf, they'll simply debit your account, meaning they'll take the money out of your account to pay the valuer. You can pay the money to us, the attorneys, for us to pay the valuer, or you can pay directly to the valuer. It doesn't matter as long as the valuer gets paid and the valuation is done. What are the required? I feel like this is going to be the lightning round. What are the required documents to get a title? In a nutshell, you need a survey diagram. We cannot do anything without the survey diagram. If you come to us and say, I want a title, and you don't have the survey diagram, we're going to send you back to get the survey diagram, a recent survey diagram. If it's older than 7 years, you must have a surveyor's declaration to bring it up to date. And the surveyor's declaration confirms that the boundaries are still the same. Proof of current payment of property taxes, any other document that can tie it to the land, any old bill, old letter, old construction receipt, anything that can say, yes, Mary has been occupying this land for 30 years. Particulars, names, addresses, occupations of 2 people who can confirm that you have actually been on the property for the amount of time that you are claiming it for. And let me just say, those persons don't need to prepare any documentation. We just need their information. We prepare the documentation for them to sign. Good afternoon. I have land that my grandfather died and left. I'm a grandchild, so I don't know much. How do I go about getting the land that was left behind? How long ago did your grandfather die? Did he leave a will? Did he will it directly to you? We would need to know all of these questions. And again, let me just say, the fact that you have a relative who may have died and that relative may have owned land doesn't necessarily mean that you are automatically entitled to anything. So grandfather died from 1970, and you're just now finding about even if you found out about it when he died in 1970, but you're just now deciding to try and claim it, there may not be anything for you to claim. Even if he said in his will, I will this property to grandchild. If over 40, almost 50 years have passed, even though you have a will and the will is valid, you may be out of time because someone could have been on it, could be on it, and if they've been on it for over 12 years, that automatically cancels any claim you may have had to the property. So give me some more information. But again, I just want to make it clear that just because someone owns property, someone you're related to, doesn't mean that you're automatically entitled to it. My grandparents willed a piece of property to me. They are deceased. I want to sell it. What is the procedure? The property is still in their name. You would need to get the will probated. And some people are still surprised when we say that. A will is the beginning of the process. Probate is the official process of proving the will, ensuring it's valid, getting the signed order from the court, pay the death duties at the stamp office. Only then can the property be legally put in your name, and only then can you sell it. So if you are a beneficiary under a will or an executor, while we are waiting on probate, we can start a sale, no issues with that, but we can't finalize it until the probate process has been completed. What is a property tax certificate? It is simply a certificate, a piece of paper signed by the collector of taxes to say taxes have been paid up to a certain period, usually the end of the financial year, March 31st, or it can be up to the end of a quarter. I think we have a quarter coming up now, September. So it is that document signed and sealed from the tax office to say that property taxes are up to date. When you are selling property, usually we get the property tax certificate. So we don't just settle at the receipt. We get the official certificate signed by the collector, right, to say that property taxes are up to date. So to get a property tax receipt, your property taxes must be up to date. So you pay the property taxes, you get your receipt, and you can then ask at the tax office at the same time or at a later date for them to issue a property tax certificate. There is no cost to get the property tax certificate. Can I get a mortgage before signing a sale agreement and paying a deposit? Can I get a mortgage before, I'm just making sure I'm reading this correct. Can I get a mortgage before signing a sale agreement and paying a deposit? What if I sign and pay the deposit, then don't get a mortgage? All right, no, you can't get a mortgage before you sign the sale agreement and pay the deposit, because you need your sale agreement and your receipts and other documents, valuation, surveys, ID report, etc. You need those to submit to the mortgage company to show that you are under contract, and they use all of those to apply or to commence your application for the mortgage. I understand why you have asked that question, because you want to avoid paying money, paying a down payment, and then not getting your mortgage. Because as many of you may know, if you pay a deposit on property and you're unable to complete the sale, you run the risk of losing your deposit. This is one of the reasons why we preach to clients to get your pre-approval, your what we also call your eligibility letter from your mortgage company. That way, you know that once you submit your application, they will grant a mortgage. And it also tells you what your monthly payments will be like. So no, you can't get a mortgage before you sign a sale agreement, but you can get a pre-approval, and that makes the process easier. And usually when you get the pre-approval, depending on the mortgage company, it could last between 30 and 60 days. If it hasn't expired, then you don't need to submit all the documents again. So go ahead and get your pre-approval. Thanks as always for tuning in to another edition of Land Solutions. Keep the questions coming. I'll respond. It's been my pleasure. As always, thanks to Dervan and the team, Shandale and Adrian. I've been your host for today, Kalicia Finley. Take care.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Dr. Jackie is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. September is Prostate Cancer Month, and this Wednesday, September 15, we'll discuss the basics on prostate cancer and the impact it has on the immune system. Also, tune in for the exciting Healthy Conversation with Dr. Jackie Campbell as she speaks about ways on how to deal with worry. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine, PI Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century, National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living, Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, Let's Save Water, Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town, Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor, and Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, September 15 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Though you may be a king of the world, sitting on your throne made of gold, servants standing all around, feeding you apples in your favorite stew, singers and dancers entertaining you, millions of dollars in your chest. If you don't find time to read and browse, you're as poor as a little church mouse. Reading maketh a good man, so read and read all you can. Join the library or buy a book, and give it more than just a passing look. For bread alone man shall not sleep, but from words of books you'll have much to give.
And that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been reading today's Gleaner. Not sure how many, well, apart from those who subscribe to Gleaner Premium, not sure, and are on social media where the Gleaner posts snippets and other forms of material from the Gleaner, but because this is a no movement day, a physical copy has not been published as far as we are aware, because this is a no movement day, and if people can't go out, then they to get the papers. No, but I believe though, hold on, I believe I saw, I think there was a physical copy. Yes. I saw someone this morning pick up a Gleaner in plastic. It was apparently dropped off by those who drop off the physical copy of the Gleaner. Yeah, because if you have subscribers, then rain or shine, they're supposed to get their Gleaner. So yes, there people would have seen this physical copy. But for those who haven't seen the physical, or if you're not a subscriber to the Gleaner Premium to be able to read the papers online, it's sadly it's not an unusual headline, but that doesn't take away that chilling feeling, that sense of horror. Even after all these years and all that we have done as a people and as a country, from a socio-economic perspective, a national security perspective, and we're still here. 18 killed in 48 hours is the sensational headline. 18 killed in 48 hours. Gunmen have been on a murderous rampage, the story tells us, killing at least 18 people over a 48-hour period on the weekend. 7 of the murders occurred over an 8-hour period on Saturday, while 11 killings happened on Friday. A 2-year-old infant was shot and injured in one of the incidents. The staggering 2-day death toll comes amid tighter restrictions imposed by the government to beat back an explosion of coronavirus deaths and infections. Friday's bloodletting started in Old Harbor, St. Catherine, where citizens reportedly heard explosions and summoned the police, who found 41-year-old Ricardo Mirage lying face down with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the back of the head. In another incident, Winston Mannings was standing at the intersection of Fleet and Tar Streets along with an 18-year-old female student and the 2-year-old when men armed with guns alighted from a motor vehicle and opened fire, killing Mannings and injuring the student and the infant. On Saturday, a man visiting from the United States was shot and killed by unknown assailants along Mountain View Avenue in East Kingston about 4 p.m. The other killings occurred in Savannah Lamar and Whithorn, Westmoreland. What have we become? We'll come back. There's another headline, well, the main headline, which is Monsters, 8-year-old orphaned as 4 slain in Clarendon bloodbath. And there's a picture of the MP for Clarendon Southwest, Lothan Cousins, comforting the orphaned 8-year-old boy and other members of the family. And then to the left of that photo, vaccination rift rocks Adventists. Let's take a call or two, and then we'll come back with some more of these stories, especially for those who don't have access to the Gleaner. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Malcolm, good evening, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm a little bit disappointed. From this morning, I get up 4:30, and I always get my source of information from Power 106, but nothing on the audio from the app.
Yes, we've been having problems, which we hope we will overcome sooner than later, because for those of us who set very high standards, we're not happy. We're not happy. We have no doubt that the members of the team are doing their best and are trying to resolve the issues. But surely we have to do better than this.
Yes, indeed.
As a media entity, we're critical of individuals, institutions, and organizations when they don't live up to expectations, when they fail to perform, when they fail to deliver that which they promise. And we too must take flack when we fail in that regard. And again, we're terribly sorry that you've been having difficulties hearing Power 106. You're not alone in that regard, because I have a couple of radios at home, and obviously at different places. And yeah, it's like frying eggs all day, among other things. And it's very frustrating as a listener, because when I listen to radio, I listen as a listener. What are people hearing? What is coming out? And I generally switch to another station if I'm trying to listen to a station and all I'm hearing is frying or distortions or anything but a quality feed. I usually switch. And I wouldn't blame anybody else listening to us right now to just do the same, quite frankly. It's just really unfortunate that we're at this point. But again, we trust and hope that the team is working to resolve the problems sooner rather than later, because it just doesn't make sense. If people are not able to hear you, then, as we like to say here, it means we're talking to ourselves, quite frankly, if people are not able to hear. And it doesn't make sense that you're operating a radio station if people are not able to hear that radio station of a certain quality. And again, there is, as we've shared on this program before, a WhatsApp group involving the technical team, the engineers, and when we get these complaints, we usually post the messages in that chat group, and the engineers would give us feedback. The last message I sent would have been within, maybe about a week ago, where I asked the question of whether the work on the Power 106 transmission was finished. And I was told, no, it was still being worked on. So it's still being worked on, and we hope the matter is resolved sooner than later. Personally, not for me or for us, but for the listeners. The listeners are the most important part of the radio experience. And we must move heaven and earth to serve our listeners and serve them well. So again, sincerest apologies on behalf of the team here, not just at Power 106, but within the entire RGR Gleaner Communications Group. It is very embarrassing for some of us to have to express ourselves in this way, but it's having to apologize for poor transmission or lack thereof. But we really hope that this matter will be resolved sooner rather than later.
I want to take it up with you, not so much time, but concerning our crime rate. Now, the Constitution affords us a chief executive who is the chief police officer, which is the commissioner. And I haven't heard anything from her. I thought him would have...
From her?
From him. Oh. I thought him would have... He would have tried to comfort the nation and give us an idea of the mindset that they have to fight the crime. And the private sector, the Chamber of Commerce.
Or could that be the problem, that we're fighting crime? Think about it. Could that be a big part of the problem?
I think so.
Yeah, the approach that we're fighting crime as opposed to enhancing national safety and security in Jamaica.
But I thought more as the private sector and those bodies who always have a voice would have put some pressure on the commissioner saying, we need results.
And there is, as you are aware, I believe, there is, just as how we have EPOC, the Economic Program or Economic Policy Oversight Committee, we also have one set up for national security. Remember, there was a summit of sorts that was held at the Jamaica Conference Center.
Yep, I remember fairly well.
Yes, and there are supposed to be updates. People are supposed to be held to certain timelines, etc., and certain deadlines and deliverables. So you're right. Perhaps the private sector needs to be clear on whether it is satisfied with or not with what is happening or not happening. But could it be as well that COVID-19, whether wittingly or unwittingly, is sort of pulling wool over our eyes as to what is happening or not happening? So we're taken up with everything having to do with COVID-19, and not that we shouldn't, but it's almost as if there might be some reticence about coming out and dealing on these matters, as opposed to trying to play a part in tackling this pandemic. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know.
Yes, but there's something that I would like you to do for us.
Sorry, can you tell us about that in a moment, please? One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Power Talk has been a unique source of discourse on matters of public interest, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk brings you the new host who will take talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide a riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for brand new features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskill Wednesday to Friday on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Living good, living in the positive.
No man shall not slip. Your strong words of words, you'll have much to give. Reading maketh a full man. So
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Please continue.
The thing I would like to see is where some of our young professionals like yourself and others could have some debate with these leaders that we have here, both private sector and government. Push them to find out the promises are made to the people and how it's going to be kept and why it is not being kept. Because we are tired of hearing some more talks from these guys, but no substance behind, no action behind it, you know. So basically, if you could use one day per month to have this kind of discussion with some of these guys, you know.
Yeah, well, you've touched on a matter which I don't know if because I've spent time producing talk shows since 1999, and also that surprise, I get bored easily. That I've heard it all. Sad to say, I don't expect anything significant to come out of an interview or a discussion with the certain individuals, key individuals as well. What we are going to get, and again, maybe because I'm in the field of communication and I also lecture on communication, what we're likely to get is whatever the question, we are doing the best we can. We have spent $10 billion over the last couple of years on this area. We have acquired this. We have done that. And all we ask now is for the people, more well-thinking. I don't know, everybody loves to use that. Well-thinking, more well-thinking Jamaicans. We're appealing to you to come on board and help us. And that's the end of that story. You see, I've seen and heard it and read it so many times because I also spend time in the archives. So we'll try other, maybe we need to be a little more creative or try other ways of mobilizing action that is not just a seat of the pants reaction, but a sustainable plan.
You see, I'm following it from the days of Tony Lang, you know.
Yes.
That was how long I'm listening to you, you know. But and my final point is, this is something which is dear to my heart. For the past 5 years, I've been pushing our public sector workers who have something to do with the telecommunication aspect of our country. The ministers, the permanent secretary, the OUR, I've been with Flo fighting them to put in proper infrastructure from then. If they had done that, we wouldn't be having so much problem with the internet service now.
Yeah, that's another bugbear, and the telecoms companies will tell you as well that theft of copper cables is another reason why for some of the interruptions in service that have been taking place.
Understood.
So, but there are a lot of things that we have known for a long time now, but we have either been slow to act or just taken convenient positions over time. And as usual, the people are left holding the bag.
I totally agree, because I think, you know, people like to push off things for tomorrow. What can be done today? We say, oh, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
And tomorrow sometimes never comes.
That's right.
Okay, my respect, Mr. Malcolm.
Thank you very much. Wish I could do more or be more or say more, but that's as much as I'm able to give at this time.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Thanks for the call.
My pleasure, man.
Take care.
Yes.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. There's a poem we have shared on this program before about tomorrow. 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 Yeah, what if tomorrow never comes? There's a song for that as well. Let's go back to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Thank you very much. How are you?
Giving thanks for life. And you?
Very well, thank you. Trying to keep as safe as possible. I hope you had a restful weekend.
Let's just say my wife kept me busy.
Very well, Dervan.
Don't know about rest.
Okay.
You just have to do what you're told, eh? Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, it's been quite busy.
I quite understand.
Yes.
Dervan. Let me first of all commend the segment that you have on Mondays, Land Solutions, and that particular feature. It is very informative. I myself have learned from that segment, and I am commending the attorneys who appear on the program to give legal advice on land issues. A very commendable and worthwhile segment on Mondays on your program. I would also like to offer my sincere condolences to the family of those 4 persons who were brutally murdered recently in the parish of Clarendon. Quite an unfortunate tragedy. I hope that those persons who are responsible for those murders will be found by the police and they will face the necessary charges. Unfortunately, as have been discussed previously with you, the crime problem is out of control. I do hope that we will see some firm action from the government.
You know what is sad? I could go back and find a tape, possibly of you or me or anybody else saying that same thing, because we've been here before and we've been here for a very long time, and we keep saying it's getting worse. It's getting out of hand. We're sick and tired of this, and we've had marches and we've had petitions and we've had committees and we've had discussions and we've had summits and we've had states of emergency, and we could go on. We've acquired new vehicles and we're using technology, Jamaica Eye and all, etc., and we're still here. It's sad.
Yes, it is sad, but without the political will, without the necessary strategies being formulated by the government to once and for all tackle this crime problem, both from enforcement and tackling the other issues that are causing the prime problem. And without the full support of the Jamaican people, then the problem will unfortunately continue to get worse. The first issue to which I'd like to share with you this afternoon is a positive, some positive news.
No, I generally don't get into the business of positive and negative because without positive and negative charge, I'm looking up at the bulbs. We wouldn't have electricity in the studio through these bulbs. Positive and negative charge.
Well, let me share some good news with you.
And then who determines, don't get me started on that now, because who determines what is good news? The frog said, what is joke to you is death to him. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Recently, Dervan, and I know that your listeners will find this information very commendable. Recently, Mr. Rushon Stewart, and this was published in the Western Mirror newspaper, September the 10th, 2021. Mr. Rushon Stewart, a 21-year-old young man studying medicine and surgery at the University of the West Indies, Mono, has been included in the top 50 shortlist for the Chegg.org Global Student Prize 2021. This award amounts to $100,000 United States dollars, and Rushon Stewart was shortlisted for the Global Student Prize 2021 from among 3,500 nominations and applications from 94 countries across the world. And in this age of COVID virus, where students like Rushon have shown great courage to keep studying and keep fighting for a better future despite many obstacles. He's from one of the inner city communities in St. James, specifically the community of Mount Salem. And his shortlistment for this Global Student Prize Award is commendable. And I am commending Rushon for reaching the final in this award. I hope that he receives the ultimate prize. His story, Dervan, he's a regular contributor to the Western Mirror, and his story clearly highlights the importance of education in tackling the many challenges ahead, including climate change, which he has wrote about, and he has also wrote about the evolving COVID-19 virus in Jamaica and across the world. And this young man who is well known within Montego Bay, Rushon Stewart, who is now a contributor to the Western Mirror, he has suffered from many challenges. He was born...
Sorry, tell us some more after the break, please.
But from words of books you'll have much to give. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more than just a passing look.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Ministry of National Security, creating a safer Jamaica.
Me just never did I get through with no work, and me did I get desperate. Till one day me see one ad, but I want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, The place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station 119 or 888-PROTECT. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Good morning. You are Mr. Singh, right?
Yes. How can I help you?
My boyfriend work here.
So?
You bring him and two other men here from India to this nice job with lots of perks. But you're a wicked man.
What is wrong with this woman, eh?
You told them they would work and live on the property. Then you send them to live in a bungalow. 3 of them in the same room.
You think I can afford to have them live in my hotel?
That's what you told them when you hired them. Then they have to work 6 days a week, 18 hours a day. And they can't leave the property unsupervised.
That's the nature of the job.
Then you hold their passports and ID so they are like prisoners. And if that wasn't bad enough, you underpay them. And you physically and psychologically abused one of them when he asked you about the outstanding salary.
So, they send you here to antagonize me?
No. I am here to defend my boyfriend's rights.
He's a foreigner. What rights you talking about?
You will soon find out. This Jamaican daughter going to let the law take its course. I am going to fix your business.
Mr. Singh is in hot water. He is violating sections of the Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Suppression and Punishment Act 2007 by trafficking in persons, forced labor, facilitating the trafficking of persons, and withholding travel documents. He can be sentenced to a maximum of 20 years imprisonment at hard labor or both imprisonment and a fine. He can also be sentenced to a maximum of 10 years or to both imprisonment and a fine for withholding the men's identification documents and passports. There are aggravating circumstances too, as the offense involved more than one victim. So, Mr. Singh can be sentenced to an additional 10 years imprisonment. That's how it is under the law.
Brought to you today by the Ministry of National Security, creating a safer Jamaica.
Join us Mondays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 9:55 p.m. on Polo 106 FM for Under the Law.
More than just a passing look. Divert alone, man shall not slip. But from words that put you have much to give. Let me hear it now. Read and make it the full man. So read and read all you
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:04. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:04. 现在几点了？5点加 no 4点04分. 2 minutes 4 minutes, I beg your pardon, 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And thank you very much for holding. It's quite instructive that you should have... You shared this story with us of Rashawn Stewart, Rashaun, Stewart with a W, Stewart. And today's selection is the reading sung by students of Mona Primary School. And then we're reading Rashawn's bio. And it says here that Rashawn's parents did their best to give him opportunities and instill a love of learning. As a result, Rashawn became a voracious reader, consuming books on a wide range of topics as a child. His goal was to change the world. So he threw himself into the pursuit of academic achievement. So no surprises that he is where he is right now and heading where he's heading. He was, as a youngster, and he still is apparently, and he's still a youngster, a voracious reader. That means you're eager, you're enthusiastic, you love to read, you want to read, you anything you can get your hands on. A voracious reader.
Yes.
So just to help you make that point. So we're happy to hear of Rashawn's story, and we wish him well.
Yes. What is instructive, Dervan, is that Rashawn Stewart was born and raised in Mount Salem, a community in Montego Bay that has suffered from poverty, in many cases, a lack of upward mobility, and for several years, it was one of those communities in Jamaica with the highest per capita crime rate. And during Rashawn Stewart's school years, he had to study and work, oftentimes hearing barrage of gunfire and other crime-related
Yes,
activities.
I read that. Mhm.
Yes, and for him now to have reached this stage, I think is commendable. In 2019, he received a special commendation from the Prime Minister for his outstanding academic performance over the years. And it is these stories, Dervan, that gives Jamaica hope. And it is my view that if more youngsters are grown up in stable families, and if they have the requisite guidance and the instilled in them, and the importance of studying well and education, and that it is only through education or earning or working to achieve qualified skills that one can progress. So I had to commend Rashawn Stewart and also to thank Lloyd B. Smith, the editor of the Western Mirror, for giving Rashawn Stewart an opportunity to highlight various topics through his columns. And I wish him well. He has done not only but Jamaica proud, and I believe he received the top prize. The other issue which I found...
Oh, you've got a marathon for us today, but this is the last one, right?
Pardon me?
I'm saying you've got a marathon for us today. Is this the last one, the last point you're on to now?
Yes, it's the last point which I'm on to.
Yes.
The Western Mirror carried a report, and you will find it interesting along with your listeners. Granville, gang, recruiting youth.
That's not a breaking story.
Pardon me?
That's not a breaking story. That happens every day.
This indicates how the crime problem is deepening in Jamaica, where in the community of Granville, the gangs are now recruiting youngsters, and many persons...
I guarantee you it's not unique to Granville.
And many residents have to believe in the community. Dervan, let me say this. I do hope that I will hear some comments from the president of the Press Association, from the Press Association of Jamaica on the crime problem, from the president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, and all those civic groups. They need to let their voices be heard, and I am hoping that we will hear from them in due course. I will end on this. Recently, the Jamaica Constabulary Force St. James Division and the Jamaica Social Investment Fund hosted approximately 100 children last month from the Salt Spring community in the parish in a 3-week virtual literacy summer camp. And at the end of the 3 weeks, Dervan, those children were presented with tablets. So I am using the opportunity to commend the Senior Superintendent of Police in charge of St. James, Mr. Vernon Ellis, and Superintendent Yvonne Powell, who were the main persons who are responsible for hosting these children. And I congratulate them for ensuring that at the end of the camp that these students were presented with tablets. A very commendable move. Thank you so very much, Dervan. Have a pleasant afternoon to you and to your listeners. Always appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's a text message. Good day, Dervan. Criminals are revered in this country. You're perfectly correct. Criminals are revered in this country. Not by all of us, obviously, but too many of us. Too many of us. Where was I driving now? Can I remember where I was? Might have been, I don't want to get the location wrong, but I'm driving along in the corporate area recently, and there was a hearse, one of those fancy units, a hearse which had a carriage in tow, plus this. I saw one box, might have been more in terms of speaker box or boxes, and you would think, there was a time in this country when such a unit is going by, you perhaps hardly hear anything, and if anything, any sound was coming from the vehicle, it would be of a solemn nature. The recording that was being played, the audio coming from that vehicle was that this is a hearse with a carriage. The audio was, how high marrow aga fly? How high marrow aga fly? And in that instance, I thought to myself, well, surely this is part of the marketing for death in this country. It has to be part of the marketing tool, the marketing strategy, because we're busy killing each other anyway. So how about marketing our funeral home as the one who that is rootsy and down to earth? Because here we are playing how I marrow aga fly. That's what was coming from the hearse. So yes, we know it's a business, but clearly it is a business. People are benefiting in major ways, and they recognize that. So death has lost its sting, it would appear. There is no inhibitions anymore. There are no inhibitions anymore. What have we become? One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Dr. Jackie is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. September is Prostate Cancer Month, and this Wednesday, September 15, we'll discuss the basics on prostate cancer and the impact it has on the immune system. Also, tune in for the exciting Healthy Conversation with Dr. Jackie Campbell as she speaks about ways on how to deal with worry. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine. P.I. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century. National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited. Let's save water. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor. And Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, September 15 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Books inform all the news.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在几点了？10点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Here, to go back to the message we were reading, criminals are revered in this country. And you are correct. You would be correct. As I said, not by all of us, but there is too many of us get a kick out of violence. We get a kick out of murder. We get a kick out of stabbings and shootings and all of that, to the point where we write songs. We write songs about all of that, and it then becomes a glorification of murder most foul, to borrow a few words there from Shakespeare. The message goes on. The politicians on both sides of the fence have failed and are failing. We do not have the will to address the crime problem. We keep putting a Band-Aid on the sore when what we need to do is an amputation, and no one in the political realm is willing to do that. What a sad state of affairs. No doubt they will tell you what they have done and what they are doing. No doubt about that. But no doubt you would tell them the proof of the pudding is in the eating. There are other messages, a lot of other messages coming in. And here is one. Hold on, let's do this on this device. Oh boy. All right, we'll have to wait until that device decides that it's going to allow us to see the screen. Beverline in Toronto, Canada says, it appears Jamaicans enjoy and celebrate when one dies. Yeah, we're too many of us are merchants of death in so many ways. Merchants of death. We get these pictures of murdered people and we pass them around like food. Everybody wants a taste of it. It is an obsession that has been with us for some time, and no doubt will be with us for some time to come. Let's break from the messages and go over to the text line, which is the same as our WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Raskava will not be left out of the discussions. Let's make sure. Here we go. Oh, well, that's what happens when you call on a cell phone. It sometimes takes a while to get it ready for the microphone. Greetings, Raskava.
Yes, sir. Give down. Yeah. That bridging the who has done the marathon. I would just love to tell him that there's two sides of a story, two sides of everybody. But he keeps on telling you all the good things of his police brethren. But he must also tell us the other side that they have not done their best. He must not paint a picture of it. They have faultless and everything that they do is good. Because I thought he would have mentioned the trimming of our little 19-year-old princess by the police at the Poor Park police station. And the Prime Minister said that he has ordered the Commissioner of Police to do an investigation, which nothing has been said. Weeks going into months, months. And nothing has been said about what the investigation has discovered. Even Indicom went there and do their investigation and has passed on the file to the DPP, which you don't hear nothing from the DPP either. Because I don't think, or do you think if Indicom never did find something worthwhile continue to pursue, you would have passed on the file to the DPP?
The DPP would only come into the picture if the matter rises to a certain level, and then she's called upon to make a ruling.
Right. Indicom said they searched a cell that she alone was in, and they found evidence. Right. So, although the police investigation has not revealed anything, whether or not the girl left the courthouse with her locks and entered the police station with it and leave with it, or she didn't come with any locks, so she could have left with none.
Raskava, the details of that situation are apparently very well known, as I found when I was in Clarendon some weeks ago. The people know what happened. They have the name, they have everything. When you find yourself in a space where people speak liberally, and one is amazed at how much information people are prepared to share when they're in a conversation with a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, or everybody knows, and they're talking about it. They can tell you the name of the person, the police personnel who did it, when it happened, and the transfer, etc., etc. The people on the ground have all that information. The other element to that now, and a classic case this morning, I was in a certain place again, and there are two essential workers who were talking about a series of murders and who did not, and if them they just did do and think, because them no say a so and so and so and so, and in their own way they were discussing the death of people, the murders of people. That's what they were discussing. So the information is on the ground. People know. And this is where we will have a situation where the trust deficit will continue to deepen or widen, because when people on the ground have the information, have the facts, not speculation, not rumor mongering, but they have the factual information, the evidence on the ground, and then when they open the newspaper or they turn on the radio or the television or the social media, they are seeing and hearing and reading and listening to and watching a totally different story. And then they'll say, you see me, I tell you, you see them people are stay, watch her, look what them having at the paper. You see the news last night, you see the thing on TV, I saw me show you, said them people are take with the idiot, you know, etc., etc., etc. So there's another part of our dilemma, Rascaba.
Because you see, some of these media, social media and print media and broadcasting media, some of them are muzzled not to talk the things as they get it, you know, because of breach of their contractual arrangement agreement with their company.
You mean media houses?
Yeah, man.
Well, we are not aware of that.
So where you have one button?
A what?
One button where you touch.
Yeah, if remember, there's a thing called libel and slander and all these things, and there's a thing called decency and decorum. So you never know. People can lose it at any time. You never know. And so you want to make sure that you have a system, and that system will ensure that what goes out on air in terms of decency, in terms of decorum, in terms of responsibility, that is what indeed goes out, as opposed to. So that's why we have the button in the studios of Power 106.
Because if you don't monitor it and decide what should go, or if you're in doubt, it don't go.
No. Again, like I said, that is the context in which the button is used. In no other way is it used.
That's why you're right, but that same thing I'm agreeing with you. Because if you allow these things to go out, then you face some questioning, and who knows what might follow, because you should know, so you shouldn't allow that.
Exactly. If we're not supposed to allow arms house, as we say in Jamaica, we're not going to allow the arms house to go on.
Right. And it is determined by the managerial positions of people.
No, it's the regulations, the broadcast regulations that have been in place for a very long time.
Right. That's the same thing I say in different words, you know.
Mm.
But, you know, it has been taking too long now, man, for these things come up. When you are investigation, people keep telling you, them tend to want you to forget about it. You know, so I'm asking the commissioner, the prime minister, whomever can do anything about it. Tell the people what went on. Who don't know, and let the chips fly go where them can't go no further on top.
And this is where we'll have to stop. We're going to a break. Is that it?
No, man.
All right, hold on, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Hello. Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question. I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas.
You know, look like she did love me to me. But me still, there's she pushed me out, so do my best anyway.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Let's see if we can mute Rascava. Too much noise coming from his background. Right. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5h moins 29. Tiensai, TDN le. Wu Dien Cha Ar Shur Jiao Fen. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Yes, Rascabo.
One question and then a little observation. When you have a guest on your program, is it ethical? Is it normal to correct them if their grammar is not correct?
It depends on the situation. There are ways to do it. You can repeat the particular word or phrase or term without directly correcting the person. If it's an issue with a name, as I get all the time, people call me Mr. Graham, thinking I'm Derval Graham, or Mr. Derval. There are times, depending on the situation.
So what's the difference between your invited guest and your invited caller to your program?
An invited guest and an invited caller. It depends on how egregious, and maybe that's a strong word. It depends on how significant the foul-up is. It depends on how significant the foul-up is. One would be more of a formal interview as opposed to an informal discussion.
But remember, you should not lose a teachable moment. And I heard one of your guests first week, a lady, and she was talking about the saxophonist. And you did not correct her. And a while ago, the bird was talking about, like you would say, somebody tell he, and you say him. So I would just say, well, probably as you invited guests, you are supposed to protect them, but I was kind of drawn aback when I said, well, he did not use that teachable moment to say it's a saxophonist, not a saxophonist.
Yeah, well, we get tons of that every day, Rascava. We recognize that in Jamaica, we talk Jamaican, and what we usually say when we're doing a correction for the public good is that if you're going to be speaking English, then this is how the word is pronounced. If you're talking Jamaican, then that's fine, whatever you're saying. So we code switch in Jamaica. So we might be talking in English, and then we we slip into Jamaican, and then we mix the two, etc. And so those who know will naturally know that something is off. But if the person is talking Jamaican, and there's no stipulation that says when you call this program you have to speak perfect English, it just depends. It just depends on the moment. There's also a word which is my favorite word. My favorite word is timing. Timing. It has to do with timing as well. And yeah, every situation is different. We don't come in the studio to say this is the approach that we're going to take to every single situation that has to do with this or that. It's according to the moment. You have to deal with the moment. And as I said, timing is important as to when you interject or seek to clarify or to correct. It's just one of those things.
Clarified it clearly.
Yeah.
And I want, I think it's the 2nd of August on a Monday, I thought it was, in the Gleaner. It states that Japan is calling back for 1.6 million doses of the Moderna vaccine because they have found aluminum in it. I think I've said that clip to you. You read that?
Yes, I read that.
What you think about it? When they're calling it for it now, people would not have gotten it already. How we more deal with that?
No, there would have been a point at which the information, like whenever that first sign, whenever that, in other words, they know what to look for. In other words, you don't just take up the thing with the fluid for the injection. You don't just take it up and without observing certain things. Even before the people come for vaccination, there would be just a check to make sure that the doses have been properly secured and there is nothing out of place. So you hold up the bottle, that little bottle, for example, that little container, you hold it up, and there's a technique as well, whether you hold it up to the light or whatever, just to make sure no impurities crept in or nothing was missed. But even before that, there's supposed to be quality control. Even before that, before those items would have come off the production line and ready for consumption or administration, you would have had that as well. But things can change because we have heard of vaccines being millions of vaccines being disposed of by the United States of America because they had expired, and it could be for other things too, depending on storage and treatment and what could have happened to the cargo at a particular point, etc. So, but there is the story did not say that anyone was adversely affected, any individual or individuals being adversely affected, which is
get that story.
What's that?
They might not get that story, so they couldn't reveal it.
Well, I mean, in this day and age, as we keep saying, Rascaba, and it's a little annoying to keep hearing that noise in the background, or whatever is causing that, because it only happens when you are on Rascaba. I have to tell you, it's especially when I'm talking, I'm hearing myself in the form of a delay in my headphones.
You still hearing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
You're the only one.
Well, that's why what I have to do is just move the phone away from the microphone whenever I am talking. I try to do that. Sometimes I forget, just to see if that makes a difference. But anyway, the point is, people can't hide anything again, Raskava. Not in this day and age. Everybody has the world at their fingertips. Everybody has the world at their fingertips. It can't hide.
What is shared? Then if nobody not share anything, they won't know.
Somebody knows.
Yeah, but if they don't share what they know, nobody else will know.
Yeah, but the experts would know what to look for, and there's a tracing, just like with agricultural produce, where they're trying to ensure that you can trace the item back to the very ground where it came from. If they can do that if they do that for agricultural produce, why wouldn't they do that? And they do that for food items, the batch number, etc. It's the same thing for the vaccine, so it can be traced.
To know if anybody have gotten those doses.
Absolutely. I have a vaccination card that they write the number on and whatever other information on it. That's for traceability.
Somebody would have got
there is no and that would have been in the story if that were the case. We have to be careful that we don't conveniently try to put in a story what is not there. We're free to speculate as people do, but if that is not in the story, it doesn't mean that somebody is hiding something or somebody it's because somebody who was impacted is not talking or has not told anybody what happened to them. Surely that would have to be big news if it was something detrimental to their health. A medical doctor would have had to come into play in that scenario.
You know, the companies and the people them who respond to it put up a disclaimer that whatever happened to you, you cannot sue them.
It's neither here. That is neither here nor there. What we're talking about is the extent to which someone would have been impacted, and that would not make the news. People would have kept that out of the story. That's not my impression of the general news feeds I am seeing in relation to the companies. They are telling you what is happening. The doctors are telling you what is happening or not happening to patients, where they are noticing, for example, a story I was reading this morning about Pfizer and Moderna, and which one seems to have more the level of the dosage is stronger, and they're also looking at a slight reduction over a certain period of time in the potency of the vaccine. They're not. It doesn't suit them, Raskava. That's like burning down the house while you're standing in it. It doesn't suit them. It doesn't suit them to operate along those lines.
I do wish I will reach your depth, your height of thinking. But right now, there are some truth that will not be known about the vaccine, because in this time of hesitance, nothing they will say that make more people start to think twice about taking it. So something they will not tell nobody.
And similarly, similarly, we can flip that with you. Because you are of a particular mindset, you will be always looking for holes, which is fine. It's good to be skeptical, etc. Nothing wrong with being a skeptic. But that's what you are doing as well.
Yeah, because I don't want to jump in that hole, so I have to look for.
So, I mean, big deal. What's the big deal?
No, just for what it was. Take care of yourself, my brother.
All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. The National Irrigation Commission Limited encourages efficient irrigation practices and responsible use of water. By doing so, we will allow the aquifer to be recharged and keep the supply flowing. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture. It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Hello?
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question. I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Look like she did love me to me. But me still, there's she pushed me out, so do my best anyway.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
It's young, it's fresh, it's worldviews from a youth perspective. It's Gen Z, navigating the ups and downs of everyday life. Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Power 106 FM.
Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can.
Que hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5 heures moins 13. Tiens, 几点了？5点，下是3分。13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? Well, I think we all know the answer to that one. Collectively as a country. Well, thank you very much for making it both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Sir Dervan.
Good afternoon.
How are you today, sir?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Great, man. Thank God for another day.
Indeed.
And I want to commend you for the concern and the welfare of the whole human race.
So we should be. Mm-hmm.
There's a concern, you see?
Yes.
Some years ago, as we talk about both politicians fail the country, both government fail the country. In this instance, I remember some time ago I heard that all the tires, the used tires in Jamaica.
I remember that, yes.
All right. I heard nothing more than that.
But we're still being told that something is coming or something is going to happen with respect to Riverton.
Well, within a 5-year period, governments get the chance to put what they need to put in place and go back to the public in another 5 years to have another change. However, there was a commissioner of police, Dr. Williams, who had made a special trip to Clarendon in the Moko police, at the Moko police station. And the Moko police station should be refurbished. Now, what I discovered is a container placed opposite the previous police station, and it is deteriorating more and more and more. I heard nothing more about it.
But there have been a lot of talk and action about police stations either being built or refurbished. There is that evidence. I'm surprised to hear they haven't reached Moko yet.
Okay. So why I really mention even that? This crime thing, you see, everybody made their projection which time was better job have been done where crime is concerned, and the rate is climbing like COVID. Now, when it is mentioned that if anybody knows about an incident or hear about an incident and can prove it, and when they call to the appropriate area, whether 119 or 113, the question posed sometime what I heard that, are you willing to go with them to that spot? and identify
No, that
on the arrival?
no, that wouldn't be
Okay.
that wouldn't be that wouldn't be a general
Well, I,
approach.
sir,
The key thing, if you call 119, it's for an emergency. Something is happening or not happening.
Okay.
And that is supposed to be dealt with just as how you try to stop somebody from bleeding.
Exactly.
That's the kind of action that is supposed to be taken. Anything else would have to be dealt with afterwards.
Well, you have some professionals within the security forces there. I won't name the station. But question have been posed. Are you willing to identify, stay at the place and show me and come with us? What is happening?
No, that sounds a little pedestrian, actually. That sounds
sometimes
pedestrian.
when I heard these things, that is what kind of get me mad, so Malcolm. And one of my statements, most of the time, I could be wrong. When you have the elementary level of learning, you go to the primary, and we move on till we have secondary. Now, almost every parish in Jamaica, most parishes have a university, and we have, from every parish, there are university graduates. Just like how earlier on you mentioned about Mr. Stewart there from down by St. James.
Yes.
Good. Previously, he would have to struggle to reach that level back in the days. Thank God for the improvement in education. And I'm saying, I am wondering, when Jamaica used to bloom in agriculture, etc., people used to take care of the communities, everybody concerned about the children or the child. Today, when we have so many university graduates, Sir Malcolm, I am wondering what are the contributions they are making to the world in general prior to the population.
Maybe they have so many things to contend with, like student loans, like trying to find their place in the human race, like trying to find a job or trying to get funding to bring an idea to fruition. In other words, it's not unique to the university graduates. Just generally speaking, we live in a world where the need is so great,
right?
That people have been busy just trying to get their piece of the pie and trying to eke out some kind of an existence, that there is little or no time for the kind of community mobilization, bonding, camaraderie, that kind of thing, and hence we have what we have.
So Malcolm, I will bridge this gap and say, for you as an example, if you had think that today, the world in general wouldn't have this type of learning and training by you through the media, but you have seen it fit from early that life wouldn't be easy just to take up it like a piece of pie. You prepare yourself, like I said, now is homework for everybody. It doesn't matter the age group. Every day we learn more and more. Yes. And all we need to do is try to be positive.
Yeah, and what we've been saying, especially since the start of this pandemic, or since the first case here in Jamaica, which was about 560 odd days ago.
Okay.
If we don't learn from this pandemic, so that we can fashion the kind of lifestyle and livelihood going forward, then we're going to struggle, and a lot of us are going to fall by the wayside. We have to learn from it.
Mr. Malcolm, I was reading something recently. When we have a thing named smallpox, it affected the entire world. And these scientists prepare a vaccine. And it is said that out of every 50 person who don't take the vaccine, it's like you have 8% or 10% of them pass off, I said that to say this, that every day through the media and on the here, live here, people have been reminded to protect not yourself alone, but your neighbor and your friends. Go and be in vaccine. Take the vaccine, being vaccinated, that you can protect. But guess what? I realize that most of us, or some of us, Sir Malcolm, are politicizing this thing.
Well, you're not going to get away from that. Those of us who are partisan are well, we look out for the slightest action or listen out for, and we're ready to play politics. You're not going to get away from that, sir.
Right, and that is why I say we have grown so far that I thought more or less that we could think better to assist our neighbor, not a party person, but our neighbor, your child, my child, and every children that we come across.
That's how it's supposed to be.
So, Sir Malcolm, take care of yourself.
You too.
And all the best to our great listeners, and please continue your work, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, and we are coming down to the wire. Well, let's just clear a couple of messages, maybe one or two. Hello, Sir D. Don't be frightened. Let's trust God. Everybody or most people are fearful. Let's pray. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, Miss Pearl. And Ralph says, good afternoon, Dervan. I hope you're well. Recently, it was alleged that Windalco dispersed waste into the Rio Cobre. NEPA would have intervened to ascertain the cause. Up to last week, similar discoloration of the water and it smells. Sections of Spanish water lockups, and I can bet that this is a result. Well, following another is not necessarily an indication of one causing the other, but this is another. The substantive matter itself has not been adequately dealt with, which again betrays trust and just keeps us where we have been for too long. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 13th of September, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
But still have much to give. Books inform, old or new, some serious, some amusing too. You'll understand, appreciate with the words we think, communicate. To dance distractions of today we'll see. Reading every day is a missing link. So raise your knowledge and act you. It gives you confidence in you. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more than just a passing look. Divert alone, man shall not slip, but from words of good still have much to give. Let me hear it now. Reading maketh a full man, so read and read all you can. Join a library or buy a book and give it more than just a passing look. Thy bread alone man shall not live, but from words of good still have much to give.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.